All right. Wow. It's unbelievable to think that VBS has been going for 20 years. And I think our family has a distinctive honor to be involved for 20 years. I just remember the very first year we were involved, I was pregnant with my first child, and that was 1994. And I think we've been, my kids, 3 kids, have been in VBS one way or another for every year since then, and it's been one of the highlights of their childhood, and they look forward to either be part of it or even just to help out in VBS. So we're just so thankful to be on this journey with with the church. Let's see. So 1994, I don't even remember what my responsibility was, but I remember being very pregnant with my first child and working with Mei Fang, who was working with our youth. And I remember, wow, Mei, God was just so good. God provided Mei. She was a drama major from Hong Kong. And like today's VBS, we have a closing program with a script and drama and everything. Well, back then, there was no such script, okay? So Mei wrote our closing program and directed all these youth to put on this show at the end. They all had their, I remember, it was a detective theme, I think. And I just remember they're all in trench coats and they have flashlights and they were singing and dancing, and it was just amazing. So God is really, really good, and he's always provided what we needed at exactly the right time. And by the way, I want to say I think MCCC probably invented the closing drama. Yeah, because back then they didn't have it in our book, but we had a closing program and we had a closing drama, and I'm sure we were one of the very, very few that had that. So that was 1994. Going forward, I guess because maybe I was serving in a choir, in worship ministry as well as youth, so I was often asked to lead, sing and play, as well as train the youth. There are so many youths that I work with, and many of them are probably have kids old enough to be in VBS now. So that's terrible. That means that I'm really, really old. But in any case, sing and play, I think is one of the best jobs in VBS. It's so much fun, and I am so blessed to be. I don't know. I think I let sing and play for a long time. I don't know how many years, but I get to work with music. I get to sing and dance with really cool kids' music. So that was fun. I get to burn some calories. Hey, that's great, right? But honestly, I think the most satisfying thing with working in sing and play is not only to watch the kids all just getting really excited about VBS and with God's word, but just to work with youth and get to feel young yourself. I'm just amazed to have this opportunity to witness an endless supply of youth over the years. Because think about this. Youth, they're just really awkward in that time of their life. Who wants to stand on stage and doing all these silly motions, singing all these silly songs? And some of them, once we had the mascot with the costume, some of them have to be in these really thick and furry and dirty costumes for I don't know how long, getting their costume pulled at, but they all love to do it. They love to be in sing and play. So I'm thanking God for His provision for bringing all these youth. Kind of reminds me of when God sent all these animals to come to the Noah's Ark. He just sends them. We didn't go out to look for them. God just brought these youth to us. So that's really, really exciting. Anyway, having left sing and play through 3 pregnancies, sometimes I do feel a bit out of breath when I sing. So I just really felt the Lord was telling me that, it's time to work myself out of my job, and to begin to kind of pass on the baton to the youth. And oftentimes I will have the opportunity to work with youth that are either super shy or youth that you would just you don't think that they would they're the right candidate to stand in front of people. But I am so thankful that I had a chance to watch a few youth to just really blossom from a shy boy to someone who you just like, wow, by the end of 1 week they could stand up and lead a program. You just watch them blossom, and there's just, if any of your parent or teacher, you know how awesome that is to just witness that transformation in their life. So that reminds me of this saying, right? I know it's not from the Bible, but I hope, I often hear people say, God does not call the equipped, but He equipped the called. So once He calls you, He will be there to equip you and prepare you. Now, having been involved for 20 years and watching even the publisher, right? They have, over the years, they add many things. They add hand motions in there that make the sing and play team job so much easier. They added the closing drama. They added the slides. They added even the slideshow, right? And each day they added a lot of elements. But for me, there are some elements that just stays from year to year. Like kids, our VBS are always pretty much filled to capacity, right? And another thing, God always provide for enough staff and enough teams to help out. That is really, really cool. And another thing is, I'm always so surprised to watch kids being so enthusiastic. They can't wait to come to get signed in to their crew leaders. So that is really, really cool. So in closing, I would say God's will done in God's time will never lack God's provision. And indeed our God is El Shaddai who provides. Thank you.